Good evening and welcome. We're so glad that you could join us for the Senior Legacy Coin Ceremony. This is a hallmark event for our graduating seniors, the night before graduation each year. Each senior is presented with two specially minted coins. One is a gift from the college as a sign of our appreciation for his or her commitment to us in completing a 4-year degree here. The second is a gift for them to share with someone they wish to honor for having the greatest impact for good on their lives while they were a student here at Florida College. It is our desire that when the student and the honoree look at their coins, their minds will be flooded with the precious memories they made together while they shared their lives here at our beloved Florida College. Again, we thank you for coming and joining us on this wonderful evening. Thank you.
Ty Ackett.
So I get to be the first one to give the disclaimer that I am probably going to cry tonight, but I feel like my excuse is just a little bit better than everybody else's. So I have the pleasure tonight of giving my coin to a professor that many of the people on stage with me probably don't really know. Some students may know him as the old guy who teaches music history. Some adults in the audience or on the live stream might remember him as the man who built the Florida College Band program from the ground up and dedicated 47 years of his life to the school. But I get to know him as my tuba teacher and as my grandfather. I treasure every hour that we spent helping me learn my craft, and more often talking about stories from the good old days when I didn't want to work. But before I give you this coin, Papa, I just want to let you know that you were not my first choice. See, when I was a freshman, I decided I was going to give my coin to a different professor. During my time as her student secretary and as her student, she offered me some of the best advice I've ever been given. Regarding academics, she told me if an online test doesn't say that it's closed note, that means it's open note. Regarding the workplace, she would often tell me, quit working so hard, you get paid by the hour. And I did not know at the time that these would become my clearest memories of her. And when she died, coming back to finish my degree in a school, in a track that she built, and a school with a gaping Nancy-sized hole in it was the hardest thing I've ever done. But what kept me going was knowing that I was not alone, because I still had Papa's tuba lessons. So tonight, I'm giving my coin to Dr. Barler, Dr. Doug Barler, on behalf of Dr. Nancy Barler.
Gabriel Aguilera.
Good evening. I'd like to take this moment to honor someone who has made a major impact in my life. This honoree embodies what it truly means to be a servant, and at Florida College, we all know that's really important. She's kind, charismatic, a great nurse, but an even better person. From our moments in 2010 all the way to our transition to practice class, she has inspired me to be a great nurse, but again, an even better person. Thank you for everything that you do for me, not only for me, but for the program. Dr. Hulk.
Emma Allen.
The coin ceremony is all about impact and who has had the biggest impact on us while we've been at FC. When I started thinking about who I would give my coin to, there was a clear person who popped into my head. During my 4 years here, this person has been my mentor, my coach, my college mom, and my friend. She has supported me during my hardest and my lowest moments, and has also celebrated with me during my best moments. Some of my favorite memories from FC are with her, like talking around her kitchen counter for hours on end, countless team dinners, and hours at cheer practice, laughing until we were crying because of something funny she did or said. Plus, all the times she was supposed to keep the cheerleaders in line, but in reality, I was keeping her in line. She also taught me many lessons I will take with me for the rest of my life. How to be a leader with confidence and humility, to pray before my feet hit the ground every morning, and to always be a part of the solution instead of adding to the problem. These memories and lessons are just a small part of the impact this person has had on me, so I'm giving my coin to Miss Jean Crispell.
Claire Arden.
I doubt there are many students who could honestly say that they look forward to their academic advising sessions every year, but I always did. During my time at FC, Dr. Crispell became much more than an academic advisor to me. He was a spiritual mentor, an encourager, and he was one of the first people at FC to make me feel like my voice was heard and my work was appreciated. I remember as a freshman telling my roommate, if Dr. Crispell can be proud of me, I can be proud of me. And so today I am proud to dedicate my legacy coin to Dr. Brian Crispell.
Brianna Arnold.
The person I am honoring tonight is very dear to me. She has become my second mom during my time here, and she has had an impact on my life in so many ways. She is quick to listen and always has wonderful advice to give. She never fails to show the love of God in everything she does. I want to thank her for the endless late-night talks and for letting me be a part of her life. Thank you for loving me and always taking care of me. Thank you for being you and making all your girls feel so loved. I'm glad this is my last year since it's also your last. Because I can't imagine FC without you. I'm honored to give that coin to Miss Higgins.
Hannah Baird.
When I got to FC my freshman year, Jason and Stephanie Longstreth were these two randos that my mom happened to go to school with. They were friendly faces with adorable children, but nothing more than that to me. I had no idea that during my 4 years at FC, I would grow so close to them. The Longstreth children are all crazy and silly in their own ways that make life so much more fun to experience, while Jason and Stephanie exemplify what a God-centered marriage ought to look like. This family embodies sacrificial love and most ultimately showed this to me when they invited me to live in their home last summer. Living with the Longstreth family taught me a lot of lessons and earned me a lot of memories I'd have a hard time getting rid of. Through her sparkly outfits and matching personality, Olivia has taught me what it looks like to boldly and unapologetically be yourself. I learned from Alex that it's important to care for yourself when he woke up the family at 7 a.m. blasting "Happy Birthday" 20 times in a row. Jonathan, who has affectionately labeled me as Big Hannah, has taught me that beneath the surface, people are wonderful and beautiful and all worth getting to know. Kira showed me that people grow to love at different paces, and I'll never forget the night she looked up from the bottom bunk and said, for the first time, "Good night, Hannah, I love you too." And to my namesake, Hannah, I've learned that sometimes people who are 1,000 times cooler than you will look in your direction, and you'll build a friendship that brings continual joy and comfort. Through living with them, going to Disney World, attending church with them the last 3 years, Jason and Stephanie have shown me what it truly looks like to embody the expression, "What's mine is yours." When my home life got scary, the Longstreths immediately made me a part of their lives and made sure I knew I could come to them for anything at any time. My freshman year, the Longstreths were just some friendly faces. Now as I close senior year, I look at the Longstreths as a family of my own. This coin is going to the Longstreth family. I will forever be indebted to them for their love and hospitality.
Reagan Barrett.
The person I'm giving my coin to is someone who has been there for me since the beginning of my time at FC. I first met this person about 10 years ago when we were both in my cousin's wedding. I remember seeing all my cousin's friends there and the deep bond that this person especially shared with my cousin. And that was one of the first times I started thinking that I wanted to come to Florida College. Fast forwarding to 4 years ago, I reconnected with this person again, and instantly I knew he was someone that I wanted to become friends with. Since then, he has not only become one of my closest friends, but who knew that 10 years ago till now, I would consider him a brother. When he's not offering fashion advice to guys on campus or being mistaken for being one of GQ's Men of the Year, he has always had a servant's heart. One of the things I enjoy the most during my time here is our weekly lunches at Chipotle, where we've had several spiritual conversations where he's helped me gain so much more of a heavenly perspective. In my weakest times, spiritually, he has helped me get back on the narrow road and press on to the goal that we all share. He pushes me daily to not grow complacent, but to always look for ways to improve, always trusting in God's plan and his timing throughout my life. I can honestly say that through his friendship, I've grown exponentially in my faith. He has always gone out of his way to help me in any way that he can, and I will never be able to repay that. I know that no words can truly express how great this person is, but simply put, he's a friend to all and an honest Christian man doing his best, and I thank God every day for putting him in my life. That's why I'm giving my coin to Clay Soto.
Sheridan Bass.
The beautiful thing about Florida College is that I can look at these first few rows and say that almost every person in them has impacted my life in some positive way throughout my time here. But the person that I have decided to give my coin to has nurtured me both physically and spiritually throughout my time here. Last year, I fell ill to the flu at Camp Rock as a friend there, and I was not well and alone in a Boswell dorm, which is a terrifying place to be. But she brought me smoothies when I couldn't keep anything else down. She has also sat with me in the bigness of some crazy emotions that I've had here. Some low lows that seem like the biggest thing in the world to me at the moment. She probably knows that I won't think of in 10 years, but she sat with me and listened to me and shared vulnerable experiences with me that have helped me put things into perspective and also not feel alone. It is my honor to give my coin to an amazing mother, teacher, and my friend, Miss Jenny Bassett.
Aiden Bassett.
Well, before I talk about my honoree, I want to thank two other very special people. The first being my amazing mom, who has been so good to me throughout my time here at Florida College in so many ways. And secondly, to Dr. Matt Johnson. Thank you for being there for me when others weren't. Thank you for standing up for me and for my family. I'm forever grateful to you. Well, my honoree this evening is someone who I've known for a very, very long time. Before I ever came to FC, there are very few people who have had an impact on my life like this person has. Throughout my childhood, this person taught me how to be a Christian in so many ways. He taught me the value of hard work, treating others how they want to be treated, and how you want to be treated, and how to have grit. I think he did this most effectively by buying the worst John boats that we could possibly find on Craigslist, making us fix them up with him. And as we all know, every 12-year-old's dream is to spend their Saturday sanding the hull of a fiberglass John boat with 5 different grits of sandpaper, patching holes in the fiberglass, and repainting the entire boat, only to get it to the water with a motor that wouldn't have started if we had pixie dust to use on it. In reality, it wasn't all that bad. I enjoyed the process, but looking back, I realized he was only doing it for me. Because at the time, that 12-year-old's dream was to be a charter captain. And yet, looking back, I see that he was willing to do this, even though he probably knew that within 2 years, I would have already moved on to a new hobby. And if so, he was right, because I started taking golf lessons in high school, and he came to almost every match that I played. It was no different this year playing on the Florida College golf team, because as long as I've been doing something productive, he's been supporting me the entire time. And it's not just me. He has taught and encouraged thousands of individuals in this way. Some of his students have gone on to be some of the best in the nation at what they do. He is one of the best in the world at what he does. And he chooses to be here to make a difference in the lives of people like me. He's one of the most dedicated individuals this college has ever had. He has changed the lives of so many and will no doubt continue to in the future. This is only a small token of gratitude for everything that you've done for me. I'm grateful to have had so many amazing experiences with you these past 4 years. I'm very happy to present my coin to my dad, Dr. John Bassett.
Caleb Beckley.
In my time here at Florida College, I've had the opportunity to take many Bible classes and to grow in my knowledge of the Bible. And as I was thinking of who I was going to give my coin to, it was important to me that I thought about who has had the most lasting impact on me and what I will do with my studies in the Bible as I move forward from Florida College. And there's one professor that has stood above the rest, both in positive and in negative ways for me. This professor has not only helped me grow in my knowledge of the Bible, but has also treated me as Christ did to many people when he was performing in his ministry and being the Son of God. This professor has taught me one thing very profoundly, and that is humility. To be humble in that for everything you think you're doing well, there's always more you can do, and you need to take a step back and to remember there are a lot of good things. Don't place some as more important than the other when you need to give your best effort in all these things. And so, as a personal thank you to you, I want to give and dedicate my coin to Dr. Jared Saltz.
Lakin Benagia.
It is an honor to present my appreciation for a faculty member who has significantly impacted my academic journey. Tonight, I have decided to express my gratitude to an exceptional professor who goes above and beyond in his role. This individual is a distinguished educator who has touched the lives of many students, including mine. He is known for his willingness to meet with students, not just for a mere 10 minutes, but for a meaningful conversation that will leave a lasting impression. He provides a safe space where students can share their concerns, ask questions, and seek guidance. His words of encouragement are not just surface-level compliments, but heartfelt and genuine feedback that resonates with students. Dr. Gilliam's commitment to his students is extraordinary, and he goes above the call of duty to connect with each student on a personal, educational, and spiritual level. His dedication and compassion for his students are unparalleled, and he serves as a role model for all educators. I will always cherish the impact that Dr. Gilliam has had on my life. His kind words and unwavering support have been invaluable, and I am forever grateful. Thank you, Dr. Gilliam, for your tireless efforts and steadfast commitment to your students. You truly deserve this recognition.
Jeremiah Black.
There's a lot of people who I could have given this to who really helped me and have really had a great impact on me. But for years now, I have known who I was going to give this coin to. And for years, I've been trying to write this speech so I wouldn't cry up here, and that hasn't worked. So I'm giving this coin to someone who is the most wonderful person I know. She is the most selfless, kind, and loving person I have ever had the privilege of meeting. When times were good, when times are good, she's the first one to celebrate with me. And when times are bad, and at FC there's been plenty of bad times, she's the first one. She is the first one to comfort me then. She is a shining example of a worker, a friend, a daughter, a servant, a sister, a mother, and a Christian. And I wake up every single day hoping that I can be a little bit more like her. So of course, I'm giving this coin to my mother, Carrie Black.
Maggie Black.
Throughout my career at FC, I've had so many people that have helped me reach my goal of becoming a teacher. Tonight, my honoree, though, was someone I didn't really expect that would help me achieve this goal. Over the last year, this person has welcomed me into their office literally with open arms, running to me, wanting a hug, every single time I needed it. I would spend many, many minutes, if not even sometimes an hour, in her office in between my classes or after my internship, talking to her about our days and her life and her family, while I sifted through her candy jar. Miss Hart has never failed in making me feel special and like I'm a part of her own family. She has been a consistent part of my life here at FC and is one of the biggest blessings. I love you so much, Miss Hart, and I will never be able to thank you enough for the love you've shown me.
Connor Boyd.
All right. I'm honored this evening to have this opportunity to share with you a professor that has made a significant impact on my time here at Florida College. As a professor, he encouraged his students to think about things in different ways and to try our best with everything we did. He is extremely knowledgeable and taught me so much about the business world, including many financial and accounting principles that usually flew over my head. But beyond the classroom is where he impacted my life the most. About 2 years ago, I went to schedule my classes for the next semester, and it quickly turned into a long conversation about my life, which at the time, it was the lowest it had ever been. During this time, I began to fall away from the Lord. I was angry, confused, and in my mind, I was quite certain that our God didn't even exist. I was suicidal, I was depressed, and I carried an overwhelming feeling of loneliness with me. Throughout our conversation, he showed me true compassion and understanding as I expressed to him my thoughts. And though it did take time for me to find that love of God in other humans again, he changed my perspective on so many things. Dr. Brian Gilliam was someone who cared, someone I could talk to, and someone I knew I could depend on in my 4 years down here in Florida. But greatest of all, he was someone who I knew tried his best on a daily basis to model his life after Christ, and someone who is instrumental in my changing view of my life. He's been one of the best, most knowledgeable, and inspiring figures during my time here, and I'm very thankful to have met him.
Cade Cantrell.
So I first met this guy my freshman year at church, and the only thing I can remember about that interaction was thinking to myself, man, that guy wanted to be my friend. And I had that in my mind as a freshman. So a week going into school, I was in the gym, and I was lifting my weights, first and last time, by the way. And I look over, and this guy's doing the same exact thing I'm doing. Same number of weights, too, in the pounds, but okay, that's a joke. He'd get mad about that. He's a lot bigger than me, so. And things like this just kept happening. And I'll give you the most recent one, and I'll be done. I had a pair of shoes I got for Christmas that I really liked. And this guy was like, I love your shoes, man. I was like, thank you. And I was in the cafeteria, and I was just looking down, and I see my shoes. And I look up, and it's him, so. With all that being said, for those of you that know our relationship or know where I'm going with this, all of that is flipped, except the shoes. That was real. But from the moment I met this guy, I knew I wanted to be his friend. And I can honestly say in my 4 years, this is a man I truly want to be like. He's the first person I went to for anything. If it was advice on business or school and spiritual things, most importantly. This is a man that I truly want to be like, and his family have showed me nothing but love and encouragement. And I can honestly say, besides being the best role model I've had in my life, he's a friend I'll have for a very long time. I would like to give my coin to Austin Paramore.
Emily Cook.
To the individual who moved their entire life from one side of the country to another and gained 12 new children in the process. You have told me the things that I need to hear when I don't want to hear them, but I need to. You were the one I called when I didn't know who else to call. You taught me that learning is a lifelong endeavor, an endeavor that requires deep searching and an open mind. Through the lessons you teach and the behaviors that you display in your life, I have learned more of the meaning of love. You have taught me to heal the physical and the broken, to be tender with the emotions of others when entrusted with them. Through your life, I have learned to bend and to serve just like you've shown, to treat each individual as set apart to our God and to glorify Him who is so kind as to sustain us each day. You are evidence of the goodness of God in my life, I am convinced. And more than anything, you have taught me how to take care of the people I love. And I thank my God for the blessing of learning at your feet each day. Dr. Minerva Holt.
Jay Cook.
In writing this speech for my honoree, I was not able to narrow it down to a specific story to tell because of the many roles he's played throughout my life and the different influences he has had on so many facets of my life. There's memory after memory of how he has selflessly served and sacrificed his money, his time, and his efforts for others. He's shown me what it means to be a friend to everyone, just like Jesus. He first was my camp friend at FC Indiana camp my junior year. So when I went on Camp Friends tour myself last summer, I modeled how I acted based on the amazing camp friend he was to me. When I visited for Falcon Days and later came here my freshman year, he showed me the ropes and made me feel welcomed and loved. Last summer, he would wake up with me every single morning, helping me train for nationals in Tallahassee. Throughout my final year at FC, he's given me plenty of wisdom and advice for life after college. He was there for every single practice, time trial, workout, and meet that he could be while in school for physical therapy. He was fast, but he would run with anyone who needed someone to run with. He was the guy that would be there for anyone, regardless of when or how it suited him. He and his family are such a Christ-like example of making the interest of others their interest. This man pushed me more than I thought was possible during runs and made me into an athlete, but more importantly, made me into a better man. He was and is always focused on growing those around him spiritually and giving up his time to serve others. He is an example to me of the servant leadership that Jesus displayed. I am proud to give this coin to the man I call mentor, camp friend, assistant coach, Legends teammate, and brother in Christ, Josh Keenan.
Matthew Cowley.
Good evening. One of the very many blessings about being at FC is that you're surrounded by so many professors who are so passionate about the things that they have studied and they teach. But more importantly, they're most passionate about the love of their Lord. I feel so blessed to have gleaned such wonderful nuggets of wisdom from them and from each individual. But the one that I would like to honor tonight, he is an individual who has been an example to me even before I was a student at Florida College. I came to visit my two oldest siblings when I was in 6th grade, and this professor took time to talk to me after I had sat in one of his most difficult classes. I was enthralled by his understanding and the way that he taught such a difficult subject. And it meant so much to me that he took time to talk to me. After coming to Florida College, I was blessed to have him as one of my professors throughout my stay here. And I have grown to consider him a strong example, a wonderful individual, but most importantly, a true brother in Christ who is willing to set aside time in his class or even in his limited personal life to show that our Creator is given praise and that we are truthfully, fearfully, and wonderfully made. So tonight, I'd like to present my coin to Mr. Todd Chandler, who unfortunately is not here tonight, but he will be here soon. So thank you, Mr. Chandler.
Carson Crow.
The recipient of my coin is someone who has proven to be an advisor, confidant, and friend to countless students throughout the years. He is someone that not only cared for my academic standing, but to my initial surprise, my emotional and spiritual well-being each day. As many of you know, during my freshman year of Florida College, I personally experienced a trial that was simply put, life-changing. Within this storm, I found myself broken, and as many do, I tried to pretend that everything was just fine, as so many do here at Florida College. I put on a facade, and I, in all honesty, fooled many people, but not the professor who I've chosen to honor tonight. One day I was walking down the halls of Chatlos after a business class, and this professor, as he was walking by, said, "Hey man, how you doing?" To which I responded, in good church fashion, "I'm doing good." He immediately stopped, he walked back to me, he looked me in the eye, and said, "Are you sure about that? It sounds like you're upset about something." And at that moment I was shocked by his care and his concern for me. And then we proceeded to have an hour-long conversation in which I received comfort, community, and counsel from this amazing and loving individual. And this example is one of countless that come to mind as I think about this professor and his impact for me at Florida College. During my time at Florida College, we've shared numerous meals together, laughs, and oratory trips. He is a man with many titles, and it's actually pretty confusing as a student. Some call him Professor, Coach, Dr. Johnson, Dr. Matt, Professor Johnson, Dr. J, but I'm proud to call you my friend. Thank you for being an amazing example of manhood, strength, compassion, and kindness. I proudly award this coin to Dr. Matt Johnson.
Jesse Crozier.
The person I'm giving my coin to has truly been a light in my life during my time here at FC. She became my mom away from home. She became my uplifter, my encourager, and the person I would go to when it felt like the weight of the world was on me. She reflects the spirit of Christ and demonstrates his love constantly. She's offered me life advice, academic advice, taken me to urgent care, and even brought me a soda at 3 a.m. when I had food poisoning yet again. And I know I'm not the only recipient of her kindness because she's the mom to hundreds of girls each year. The dorm truly felt like home in her Disney-themed living room, and I'm so beyond grateful for Mama B, which is why I'm giving my coin to her.
Lilia Dillman.
This past year, there has been one couple that has greatly impacted my life. They've not been here for very long, as this is the professor's first year. However, Michael and Alicia Burke have touched the lives of many in that short time. I met them at church, and from the first moment, they have never ceased to amaze me with their love and hospitality towards others. A few of their greatest moments from this year were when they helped me change my tire after church one night and then followed me all the way back to campus to make sure I got home okay. They've hosted multiple Bible studies for the college students at church, hosted team dinners for the cross-country and track team. They have had all of the college girls over to their house for Easter and had Easter baskets for each of us when we were so far from home. I've been inspired by their genuine Christian love and compassion. I'm going to greatly miss them. I will cherish every hug, conversation, and meal that we shared. Thank you for being such great examples of service and being an inspiration to many.
Cameron Embry.
When I think about this professor's teaching style and his approach to life in general, I often found myself thinking about Robin Williams, which was weird. I remember one day looking at and describing his teaching style as Robin Williams from Dead Poets Society, and I did not realize he was in the room, to which he responded, "That is one of the greatest compliments I've ever received in my life." I am so thankful for Dr. Matt Johnson to have been in my life. He's been an encouragement from day one, and he has been everything that I have needed in Florida, this home away from home. He has taught me how to be a better communicator, he's taught me more about myself, and he's taught me how to approach life. Thank you.
The professor I'm giving my coin to is one that fulfills all aspects of the mission of FC. He and his wife both continuously demonstrate being a friend to youth. He has constantly showed care for me throughout my 4 years here and always encouraged me. He pushes me academically, but also cares for me mentally and spiritually. With that said, I also respect him as an educator. History is my least favorite subject, but yet I enrolled in 2 of his classes. He made me work for it, but I did it. That should attest to the knowledge and teaching abilities that he has. From the first semester of freshman year to now, he has always looked out for me and cared for me. Dr. Chris Bell.
Ethan Figgener.
Good evening. I want to take this moment to express my sincere gratitude for everything this individual has done for my time here during Florida College. Your support, expertise have been instrumental in helping me reach my goals and become the best version of myself academically, athletically, and spiritually. I want you to know that your impact goes far beyond the field. You have been a mentor, a role model, and a friend to me, and I will always cherish the memories and experiences I have had under your guidance. Thank you, Coach Ashwood, for all that you have done for my time and Florida College as a whole. Thank you.
Garrett Gage.
This professor can be summed up in one word, and that's caring. The reason why is that whenever he came here last year, he truly cared about his students. And that in his first class of financial marketing, I knew that this was going to be a nightmare because I don't do well with numbers because I'm a marketing major. But throughout the entirety of his course, he always asked us, how can he do better, and how can we as students better our environment, our learning environment? So that's why Lee Quinn is getting my coin today, because of just how he has treated us as a class, but then also in my interview process in getting the job I have after college. So thank you very much.
Kelsey Gillespie.
I would like to take a few moments to talk about the person I chose to give my coin to this evening. This person has made a significant impact on my life. Mrs. Aitchison is one of the most encouraging teachers I've had the pleasure of learning from. As a teacher, she was always patient, kind, and nice to everyone. Also, I was fortunate enough to be her student worker this year. Mrs. H. Sin is an incredible instructor who is passionate about teaching and always willing to help her students. Her guidance and support have helped me grow and develop both academically and personally. She has taught me the importance of hard work, dedication, and perseverance, and these values will stay with me for the rest of my life. In addition to being an amazing teacher, Mrs. H. Sin is also a wonderful mother to her children. Her loving care she has for her family is truly inspiring, and I've learned a lot from her example. I feel so blessed to have the opportunity to meet Miss H. Sin and to have her as part of my life. I'm grateful for everything she has taught me, and I can't wait to use her example not only to become a nurse, but a Christian nurse like her. Thank you, Mrs. H. Sin, for being an incredible teacher and for making a difference in my life. Your encouragement and guidance have meant the world to me, and I will always be grateful for your kindness and support.
Robert Grode.
I told Mrs. Hart earlier that I would never do anything stupid on Hutchinson's stage, but I also told my dad I would get a haircut, so we see how that turned out. Florida College is an institution that is dedicated to furthering its students' abilities socially, mentally, physically, and spiritually. At a time when I was at my lowest in all of these aspects, in a time when I was dead to the world and dead in my sin, this man rejuvenated not just a mere desire to survive in these respects, but a passion and a drive to follow Christ and to succeed socially, mentally, physically, and spiritually. Since the first moment I stepped foot on this campus for Camp Rock 7 years ago, where I beat him in Harry Potter trivia, I want to add that. That's very important. He has supported me with care, compassion, and a propensity for putting off project deadlines. When I first met him, I didn't even know he was a professor. Since then, I've come to know he isn't just any professor. I also now know about 30 more acting monologues, the difference between a podium and a lectern, way more about Fiddler on the Roof, 1776, and The Music Man than I ever needed to know. And that no matter what, if I needed him, he would be there. I can say with a profound level of certainty that if it were not for this, without this man and his actions, I would not be standing here before you today. And it is with these words in mind that I would like to present my legacy coin to a man unlike any other, Dr. Matt Johnson.
Amanda Haywood.
In my life, I have had many names. Some include Natalie, Twin, Haywood Twin, Nata Amanda, hey you, and I'm sorry, I can't tell you apart. Which one are you? Luckily, the recipients of my coin know my actual name most of the time. And yes, I said recipients. I originally didn't know you could give to 2 people, but when I was filling out the form, I put 2 people anyways and hope for the best. But I felt that it would not be appropriate if I didn't give both of them these awards. These 2 people have always supported me. The first one held me as a newborn, and I am thankful to God that we grew up as sisters. The second one married the first, so he didn't get a choice. But that said, he is a gentle soul that genuinely cares for others. Throughout my phases at FC, they've had my back in many ways that I don't have enough time to describe. They have been mentors to me spiritually and leaders to everyone on this campus and several people on this stage. They both bring out the best in each other and the people around them. I'm awarding my coin to Maria and Zach McCrae. I love you, Sissy and Zach.
Natalie Haywood.
Okay, I don't know how to follow that. Sorry, Maria and Zach, you're not getting my coin, so Amanda's going to be the favorite tonight. But my recipient is a woman who has shown me Christ since the moment we met. Junior year, I had back-to-back night classes on a Monday and a Tuesday night, and if this wasn't tough enough, Amanda also broke her foot, which left me as her main caretaker in a non-handicap dorm room. Do not recommend doing that. I was stressed, overwhelmed, and burnt out. But this woman reached out to me to check on me whenever she could. She wasn't just checking on me as a student, but as her sister in Christ. She never stopped asking how she could serve outside of her teaching role. Even when I applied to graduate school, she was more than willing to want to help me succeed in whatever I wanted to do. She truly cares about her students, not just in their academic pursuits, but in their spiritual walk. She is truly caring and deserving of every recognition. That is why my coin goes to Dr. Deborah Amos.
Abigail Hammond.
I'm giving my coin to a very special woman. We started off in the typical student-teacher relationship. I took one of her classes, and then that's when we really hit it off. She is compassionate, sweet, and genuinely cares for each of her students. Whenever I meet with her, she makes it feel as if I'm the only student she has. She makes you feel special, wanted, and unique. She's been a shoulder to cry on more times than I can count, but she's also been there to celebrate the victories with me. I was her student secretary this past year, and we would do some not-so-secretary type things, but it was a lot of fun. The light of Christ shines through her as we cried, laughed, and prayed together countless times. I look up to her as a great teacher, a beautiful woman of God, and an amazing friend. I'm giving my coin to Dr. Deborah Amos.
Joel Harden.
For a reason I don't remember, I decided to run cross country for Florida College my freshman year in the fall of 2019. I was not a cross country athlete before this, and I did not run track, like ever. I was unsure how I would fit in or even keep up. The person I'm giving my coin to had an immediate impact on my Florida College experience. They helped cultivate a welcoming environment for me on the team. His family became our family, inviting us into their home to share meals and to play games. Under this person's encouragement and coaching, I quickly fell in love with the team and the sport of running. Over the years, with this person, we've all shared cookout nights, crepe breakfasts, pool parties, game nights, lots of banana bread and chocolate milk, hundreds of mile repeats, and a couple of championships. Cross country and track and field changed my life. Through them, I gained a new perspective on the Christian life through suffering and endurance. At the heart of it all, this person pours his all into God, his family, and his running family. Not only does he donate so much time and effort for us in and out of season and practice, but he and his wife have raised children and adopted more through sacred selections. He is a serving Christian, a loving father, and a great coach. I'd like to present my coin to Coach Trenton Roth.
Rachel Hollis.
My freshman year, I started hearing about this FC nursing program. And then I got an email, come to a virtual meet and greet with the nursing program director, Dr. Minerva Hulk. I was unsure that I would be staying at FC for this program, but wanted to at least come and see what it was about. So I went, me and one other girl who actually didn't even end up doing nursing at all. So Dr. Hulk and I basically had our first one-on-one little Zoom date. Dr. Hulk later arrived on campus, and over time we grew closer, both with her as my teacher and in our personal lives as she shared stories, wisdom, and advice, and as I confided in her about what was going on in my life. And ultimately, she was the reason that I decided to stay at FC for nursing. Not because she started a program, but because I trusted that she was going to start a strong program and prepare me to be a strong nurse. And that she did, as she put in countless hours to build a program from scratch while teaching several of the courses herself and being there for each one of us individually as we faced unique struggles. She prepared me in ways that I couldn't have imagined. Sure, I knew that I would be knowledgeable and competent, but she taught me to be so much more. She taught me to be a servant leader, to seek out opportunities to grow, to love without judgment, to care for the vulnerable, to pray with patience, and to trust God with both my life and the lives of those that I love. Dr. Hulk, thank you for the impact that you've made on me and on my walk with Christ.
Jordan Hurd.
The person I'm giving my coin to tonight is someone I've looked up to these last 4 years. I met him my senior year of high school, and he encouraged me to join the cross-country team. At the time, I was terrified of what I was getting into, but I had no idea what a blessing that decision would be. Throughout my 4 years on the team, he was one of my biggest encouragers. He would always help me with injuries, offer tips when it came to racing, push me to run an extra mile on long run days, and even pace me to run my fastest mile. I remember my junior season, I was discouraged and felt like I wasn't improving. He helped me find racing spikes in my size, which is hard to do, and he offered to pay for them. After I told him he didn't have to do that, he insisted, saying he had a chunk of change just lying around. His kindness encouraged me to keep training to reach my goals for this season and the season after that. I'm grateful for him investing in me and every athlete on the team. I'm honored to give my coin to Josh Keenan.
Grace Jameson.
One word that comes to mind each time I think about this person is passion. She is passionate about God, her career, and her students. Mrs. Bonnie Cable, I have never met anyone like you. There was never a day when I dreaded going to your class because of the environment you created within the classroom. You welcome everyone with the biggest smile and teach every class with great excitement. Considering the time, energy, and strength it takes to be a teacher, it's not always an easy job, but you are amazing at what you do. And I can confidently say it is because of your commitment and dedication to the Lord. You center your life around Christ, and it is evident in the way you live. Your job requires you to teach your students so that they might improve their education, but of course, you go far beyond what is required of you. You take the time to instill Christ in the minds of all your students. I will always remember the memory verse recited at the end of each class and the way that you encouraged me through prayer after each conversation that we've had together. You are the greatest encourager and the biggest fan of all your students. Thank you for showing me what it looks like to live a life dedicated through your commitment to your job, your students, and most importantly, the Lord. I have been extremely blessed to know you throughout my time here at Florida College. If you haven't already, I will encourage you to spend some time with Miss Bonnie Cable and get to know the amazing woman she is.
Taylor Knatzer.
I would like to take a moment just to brag on my coin recipient tonight. This woman that I want to honor is someone that I really hope I can be when I'm older. She's a role model to me, and she's become a second mom to me, even though she's only been here for 2 years. That's how much of an impact she's made on me. She's fiery, she's passionate, but she's also gentle and calm, and she just emulates Jesus in everything that she does. I've been blessed to watch Miss Hart serve both here at Florida College and both at the church that we both attend, North Livingston. If I had to choose one word to describe Miss Hart, it would be sacrificial. I don't know if y'all know this, but Miss Hart is very busy. Between her pouring herself out here at Florida College, or serving her brothers and sisters at church, or even just attending to her family that she has, she's very, very busy. And yet even then, she makes time to listen to me and to serve me. Miss Hart, you have showed me what it is to be a godly woman, a godly wife, and a mother, and a passionate servant. And I am so proud to present my coin to you.
Ariana Cardis.
If I've learned anything from my time at FC, I've learned that God really knows how to put the right people in the right place at the right time. I wasn't planning on staying at FC for more than 2 years, but from the moment I met her, I was sold on FC's nursing program because of her obvious passion for nursing in service of others. Her confidence in God and the ability of this program to be successful was contagious, and she quickly convinced me to apply and eventually stay. She has been the pillar of the nursing program ever since its beginnings, and she has consistently paved a path to excellence for the future nursing cohorts. I'm continually proud of her constant efforts to make this program what it has been. From late nights working tirelessly in Wilson until midnight to always making herself available to me for much needed conversations. This person has truly given her heart and soul to the nursing program. She's always been exactly who I needed in every step of the nursing program. She was comforting when there was a hard test and I felt like a failure. She made us laugh an innumerable amount of times with her quippy comments and infectious laughter. She made us cry when she cried over the countless hurdles we've had to jump over to get where we are today. But most importantly, she made us feel loved and successful and feel able to conquer anything the world of healthcare may throw at us. It is because of her that I feel prepared to go out and be who she taught me to be and who she is, a competent and caring nurse who will go to great lengths to provide holistic care to all my patients.
I want to end with a Bible verse from Esther 4:14 that says, "And who knows whether you have not come to the kingdom for such a time as this." This person has truly come to FC at the exact time we needed her. And we've always called this person our queen, like Esther, which was, I think, is a very fitting and deserving description of her. So I want to present my coin to the Roman counterpart to my Greek middle name, Athena, the queen of the nursing program, Dr. Minerva Holt.
Seth Kimball.
The person who I'm giving my coin to has been so incredibly kind to me since the first day I got here as a freshman. She would check in on me periodically, put notes in my mailbox, give me little gifts for my birthday and Christmas, or sometimes just because. She even called me one time to let me know that I had left my keys in my car and it had been running for over an hour and I maybe might want to come turn it off. That was freshman year, I promise. But really, the giving of this coin has been over 20 years in the making. Because as much as she's done for me, Miss Judy Bertram did so much more for my mom when she was here. She and Mom attended the same congregation, and she took Mom and a few other girls in and kind of became their mom away from home. She fed them, gave them advice, and generally did anything she could to help them out. She didn't do it out of obligation or anything like that. She wasn't even an FC employee at that point. She just did it because she cared enough to help. She made a huge impact that Mom has never forgotten, so much so that when I got here and moved in freshman year, Miss Judy was the first person Mom wanted me to meet. So Miss Judy, I'm honored to present you with this coin, not only as a thank you for what you've done for me, and not only as a thank you to God for blessing me with your friendship, but as a representation of this full circle moment for my family and for what you've been doing for me for years.
Paige Kirchable.
This person, instead of asking me how my school was going or what my plans were in the first week of my freshman year, asked me this: are you eating 3 real meals each day? Are you sleeping more than a few hours? And most importantly, are you going to church? This person has guided me in my academics as my advisor and in my faith as an elder in my church. Both him and his wife have been amazing mentors in my life. And I'm so thankful for all of the guidance they have given me and the kindness that they have shown me. Both are so good about stopping students and taking the time to ask if they're doing okay. They have the most open hearts, and because of this, I want to give my coin to the Crisbells.
Stephanie Kittleson.
The last text message that I received from Zach McRae reads, "You the real MVP," which perfectly sums up about how I feel about both of my recipients. Zach and Maria McRae have changed my career path, FC experience, and life for the better. I wasn't the type of person who knew what I wanted to be when I grew up. Even my first 2 years at FC as an organizational communication major, I felt lost in my career path. Then, towards the end of my sophomore year, Zach was promoting his hip new communication specialization, mass media. I immediately fell in love and knew that this degree was for me, and for the first time in my life, I knew what I wanted to do. Over the years, the group of OG mass media students has become a family. Zach and Maria always showed us true hospitality, kindness, and embodied their role as the mass media mom and dad. Whether it was having us over at Zach's amazing Cuban sandwiches, giving us Happy Meal on our first day of classes, or sending a text during a stressful time just to say everything was going to be fine, Zach and Maria were a constant support to all of us. They've also changed my life individually. Zach's classes have forced me to think outside of the box and pushed me to be a brighter and more creative student. Maria has shown me nothing but love and compassion, and I'm so blessed to consider her my friend. And of course, I have to give a shout out to their amazing dog Mel, who is the craziest and sweetest dog you'll ever meet. I am eternally thankful for Zach and Maria, and after how much they've given me, I am so blessed to give them my coin.
Haley Manners.
The woman I'd like to honor tonight has been a huge blessing to me in my 4 years here at Florida College. Her family has become a family to me. They've welcomed me into their home more times than I can count, for potlucks, college studies, for home-cooked meals on Wednesday night before services, or even on Sunday mornings after services. They've let me take Sunday afternoon naps on their incredibly comfortable couch so many times. But above all else, this woman has a heart that longs after God. You have one conversation with her, and you know that it's God who sits on the throne of her heart. She's intentional about growing closer to Him every day. She is a servant and a worker for the Lord, and a wonderful role model. I'm thankful for the example that she is to me of a godly woman, so tonight I'd like to honor Miss Beth Mano.
Eileen Mansky.
When I was trying to decide who I wanted to recognize with my coin, there was never a doubt in my mind who I was going to pick. It was Miss Jenny Bassett. When I think of being a servant-minded Christian and having a heart after God, she's immediately the kind of person that I think of. She is kind, empathetic, and truly a light that shines in every room that she walks into. From opening up their home to the students multiple times a year, to giving emergency packets out on the bus on course tour to students who are sick or not feeling well, to giving encouraging notes and text both in the times of stress and hardship as well in times of pure joy and success. She's an absolute blessing to everyone who has the opportunity to know her. She steps up to be a chorus mom to all of her students whenever they need a shoulder to cry on, a hug, and a friend to laugh with. She has showed Jesus to me in every interaction and conversation that I've had with her since I met her the first week of my freshman year. I'm truly so grateful and blessed for the example that she has given to me. To know her is to love her, and I'm endlessly grateful to call her my friend and for the impact that she has had on me and my FC experience. Thank you.
Jesse Martin.
When this couple invited me to live with them, I'm quite certain they had no idea how much trouble I can be. And I'm certain they have no idea how much good they did in my life. Jared and Catherine Saltz are so amazing. And in them, I found Jesus. They made me want to be more like him every day. And the home that they kept, and their wonderful children, were a source of joy for me when I didn't have much. To hear Abigail scream, "Uncle Jesse," when I came home every day was very good. and to play music with Hadassah, who is very talented. It was excellent. And Jared did teach me quite a bit while I was here at the school. One thing he taught me about was how fleeting life can be. The first time I rode in a car with him, we were traveling towards a signal light on Bush Boulevard, and we kept getting closer and closer, and I was so confused because the light was red. And we got closer and closer and closer, and I was like, he's playing with me. He's going to stop. Friends, brothers, and sisters, Mr. Jared Saltz, Dr. Jared Saltz, is red-green colorblind. And so I wore all blue tonight so you could see me. I love this family. I'm glad that I got to be a part of it. And it's for that reason I want to give my coin to Jared and Catherine Saltz.
Jacob Mayberry.
I'm an ugly crier, y'all, so get ready. Standing before you this evening, there are many faces and names that come to my mind. Faces and names of those who have helped me along the way. Some of which have gone on to their reward, and many are in this room, and some are on the stage. I'm on this stage by the sheer grace of God and by the encouragement and advising of many friends and family members, but particularly the one who I am honoring tonight. This man has never taught a class here. He never even went to school here. He has no corner office with an ornate desk and nameplate. He doesn't have a special parking spot. He drives an old truck and his desk is covered with work orders, and I hope he can find a little room for this coin on his desk. He's a servant with a humble mindset, and he quietly makes all the difference on this campus. No, he has never had students sit before him and listen to a lecture on business, communication, or science. He works a thankless job and keeps the doors of this institution open every day. When things go haywire, which I can promise you is very often, he is the one to heed the call. He is the first one in, and I have often seen him be the last one out. There have been many times I've even seen him work on the weekends too, all in service to this school and to us. I had the privilege of working for him last summer, and this was a rather tumultuous time in my life for many reasons. One day he asked me what was wrong as I was having a particularly tough time and being particularly insufferable. More insufferable than usual. I can honestly say that was the first time I had cried in a long time. He was there to listen to me and even saw me ugly cry. He was there to encourage and lift me up. And I never told him, but that was the time in my life that I really needed that encouragement the most. This man is a friend. He's a father, a grandfather, and a faithful Christian, among many other things. To know him is to know Jesus. He's compassionate and works every day as unto the Lord. And he possesses the qualities to be president of this school, professor, or anything in between. Instead, he quietly serves, often out of the spotlight. I think if a man is lucky, he is able to thank those that helped him along in life the most. If I am blessed to be an old man, I will look back on those faces and the names of the ones who helped me get here on this stage tonight, and I will smile. But until then, I will carry them with me. And among them will be a man who I consider to be my brother and my friend, a man who I look up to, and most importantly, a man who changed the life of someone who needed it most. I want him to know that he has made a difference in my life that I will carry with me forever. How fortunate I am to know him. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, it is with the utmost pleasure that I honor my friend, Tom Garland, with my coin.
Caleb McCourt.
My first interaction with Coach Roth occurred during the first run of my sophomore year. I was wearing a sleeveless shirt, and he rode up next to me on his bike and proceeded to rebuke my fashion choice. And he concluded with that I wouldn't have to worry about causing anyone to lust. That season did not go so well for me. I was not improving my times from the previous year. I had been passed up by a talented young freshman named Jay Cook, although at the time I think he was going by James. And I developed a calf injury that persisted into the off season. When I first met with Coach to talk about the injury, the sarcasm that I had previously seen was replaced with genuine concern. I honestly thought about giving up on running that season, but he assured me that no matter what happened, that I will return to the level I had previously been at. And I overcame that injury, but for those of you who are close to me, know that my running career after that came with some challenges, and there were other times where I wanted to give up. So why didn't I? It's because Coach didn't give up on me. Why didn't he give up? Because Coach invests in his athletes. And he wants them to succeed, not just because it benefits the program and the school, but because he loves them regardless of how talented they are. I was by no means Coach Roth's most talented athlete, but he never ceased to make me feel valued. Any success I saw was a result of him picking me up after every time I fell. A coach brings you success, but someone who supports you during your failures is a friend. Coach Roth, thank you for never giving up on me, and thank you for believing in me when I didn't believe in myself.
Allison Millard.
In the spring of 2020, I was a burnt-out music education student. I took way too many hours, both semesters, and shortly before spring break, before we knew the whole world was going to shut down, we were going to go home for the rest of the semester, I had confided into one of my professors that I wanted to drop the education part and just do music. And we never really got to finish the conversation. She just kind of said, I don't want you to do that, and we're going to talk about it. And she gave me a couple of reasons why, but we didn't get to finish that conversation. I found out later that that was the last conversation I would have with Dr. Nancy Barler. And even though that conversation is unfinished, I owe it to her that my music ed degree is finished. Even more recently, though, when I started thinking about who to give this coin to, I narrowed it down to two people in the past year, but then Adam Boer left, and so that made this decision super easy for me. We didn't really know each other very well until my senior year, but once we did start getting to know each other, I knew she was going to have a huge impact on both my time at FC and my future as a music educator. I've had the privilege of getting to know her family and getting to watch Mickey Mouse Clubhouse and Little Einsteins with her 4-year-old, and that grew our friendship. Our relationship blossomed when we got to geek out over all things elementary music together. Things like Orff Ensemble, world drumming, and recorders. Even more than that, her family took me in when I needed a place to stay and a place to pet a cat. They even hosted me last Thanksgiving, and just when I thought we couldn't get any closer, we ended up bonding over a Joni Mitchell album, Court and Spark, while we were cleaning up the kitchen one night after dinner. She has been one of my biggest cheerleaders at FC and attended pretty much every single one of my concerts and recitals. She's always been a listening ear when I needed someone to talk to, and during my student teaching internship, when I would call her every single day when my middle schoolers were giving me grief, she always had fantastic advice to give, and she happily talked me through whatever I was dealing with. She's been so much more than a professor to me. She's been a mentor, friend, and sister in Christ. I've learned recently that music ed really isn't for the weak, but she helped guide me and several other students with wisdom and grace, all while raising a family of her own. She really is a superhero in my eyes. Please join me tonight in honoring Jessica Moore.
Ashlyn Morris.
Over the past 4 years of my time at FC, I've had the opportunity to listen and learn from countless professors, faculty members, and friends of this wonderful institution. A phrase that resonated with me since my freshman year was said by a wise woman who has since become my dearest friend. She said to me, "Ashlyn, before your feet hit the floor, say a prayer to the Lord." This woman has continued to push me and encourage me academically, socially, and above all, spiritually. When I think of her, I'm reminded of the verse in Proverbs 18:24. It says, "There is a friend that sticks closer than a brother," or in this case, a sister. And that woman is a sister to me. I've had the privilege of spending almost every Tuesday night with this dear friend for countless years, worshiping with her on Sunday mornings, and spending many fun coffee dates with her that always ended in a prayer to the Lord. I will forever be grateful for her and her husband and how much they have poured into me, and for the love, kindness, and support they have shown me in my time at Florida College. Thank you for being a humble servant to me and to this school for so many years. Thank you for celebrating with me in times of joy and holding me in times of heartache. Thank you for always reminding me to make God my first priority and not my last resort. Tonight I'm honored to present my coin to my dearest friend and sister in Christ, Miss Jean Crisbell.
Michaela Nicholson.
The recipient of my coin tonight is someone who has been more than a mentor to me, more than just someone who helped me get into grad school, and even more than just a spiritual leader in my life. She is someone who has always shown her love and support to me since the first day that I met her. For example, sophomore year, when nothing seemed to be going my way and the soccer season ended up being the entire academic year, We were in this small town in Georgia, and I was leaned up against the fence watching the guys play. And she comes over to me, and she says, "Hey, can we talk?" So we go back to the locker room, and she asks me how I'm doing, and I put on my perfect face, and I was like, "Yeah, this and this is going on, but everything's great." And she looks me in the eyes, dead serious, and she says, "Michaela, you're not okay." And I cry, and she hugged me, and I told her everything that was going on, and she listened, and she cared, as she does for all of us. At a time when even my best friends didn't know that anything was going on, she knew because she knew me and because she cared. We don't always see eye to eye, but tonight I want to say thank you to her for who she is and all she's done for me. But most importantly, I want her to know that I forgive her for the time that she bought Welch's instead of Mott's gummies for the soccer road trip. The recipient of my coin tonight is Coach Joni Dilbeck.
Holly Noguchi.
Okay, I'm going to keep this short and sweet. 2 years ago, I didn't even know Florida College existed. But once I did, I knew this is where God wanted me to be. To get the chance to have so many spiritual, uplifting professors and dorm parents around me has not only helped my faith grow, but also my character. This person I'm awarding my coin to has made an impact on not only my faith, but also my character. When I first met this person, I never thought I would connect with him on so many levels. This person not only reminded me of home, but also felt like family since day one. This person helped turn me to giving my worries to God, and when I needed it the most, was always there to listen if I needed it. When I faced struggles in making life decisions, he reminded me of the importance of trusting God. Some of you on campus know him as the school crocodile, while I see him as a mentor. So without further ado, I present this coin to Renee Anderson.
Emma Noski.
I would like to dedicate my coin to someone who I've looked up to since my very first day of class with her. She is the kind of mom I prayed to be one day, the kind of teacher I prayed to be, and the type of Christ-like woman I pray I can be. From the long talks after night class, to the constant support, endless encouragement, words of wisdom, constant prayers, and everything else in between. Thank you, Mrs. Cable, for changing my life here at FC. Thank you for constantly praying over me, for all the advice, for being someone I could just talk to, and for bringing light to my life and being a one-of-a-kind teacher and person I can look up to. You have helped me in more ways than one, and I can never thank you enough for everything that you have done for me these past 3 years. I will miss you dearly, but can't wait for other students' lives to be impacted in the way that you've impacted mine.
Andrew Alco.
There are a lot of people here who have blessed me while I've been here, and I'm incredibly grateful for all of them. Tonight, though, I'm going to be honoring Dr. Jared Saltz. The time spent in class, after class, outside of class, have all helped me to become a better learner, a better friend, a better man, and a better follower of God. I'm so grateful for how you've changed so many people's lives. It's incredible how you've guided me like a father while impacting so many others. Your dedication to God is apparent in your words, your deeds, and when I look into your eyes. I want to quickly share the lyrics to a song that reminds me of your choice to love like God, and also how you've helped me to be dedicated to the same choice. It says, I've yielded my life without any reserve to my Maker, the Potter, my Lord that I serve. And though all of his ways I do not understand, I choose to remain in the Master's hand. Sometimes I'm tempted to fill up my life with things that are worthless and grievous to Christ. If I want to be used, I must follow his plan. I choose to remain in the Master's hand. The time will soon come when I go to the Lord. To be with him forever is such a reward. But for now I desire to serve while I can. I choose to remain in the Master's hand.
Yasmin Palacios.
When I was younger, I was often told I should become a teacher, and I absolutely did not like that. I did not find that I would enjoy it, nor be capable of being a good one. But then I decided I would give it a try, and in coming here to prepare for it, I was blessed with Miss Suzanne Roberts to help me reach a goal beyond what I thought I could reach. Miss Roberts was relentless in getting to know me well and figuring out what was best for my success. She never hesitated to give me one-on-one help in anything I needed, and she acted on my time of doubt and almost giving up to lift my spirits and give me the confidence to stay in this career path. Everything she has taught me and coached me through has now translated into my extremely strong love for becoming a teacher. Ms. Roberts, thank you for your patience, for helping me grow, and for showing godly love to me. This coin is for you.
Macy Palmer.
I am giving my coin to Coach Trenton Roth. Cross country and track has been the most meaningful experience for me each semester. Coach has helped me become a more disciplined person, given me confidence in my abilities, and encouraged me to set high goals for myself. Coach always emphasized to us the value of hard work and dedication, and told us that if we put in the work, we would reap the benefits. Sure enough, the harder I trained, the better I got, and by junior year, everything really started to click, and I improved a lot. Then, this past summer, everything seemed to start falling apart. Most days, I struggled to finish my runs, I felt tired, dizzy, and sick all the time, hallmarks of overtraining syndrome and low iron. I didn't really know what was going on and kind of thought I was just dealing with a lack of motivation. I didn't really like running anymore, and I honestly wondered how I would find the strength to run competitively for one more year. Coach helped me realize that yes, high mileage, 2 runs a day, and hard workouts will make you a better runner. But when your mental and physical health are suffering, taking a step back is more important. This experience gave me a healthier view of running, and following a break where Coach told me, don't even think about running, I cut my weekly mileage in half and eventually started taking some iron too. Thanks to Coach's guidance, my passion for running returned, and this year I ran my fastest times yet. I know running will be something that I continue to find joy in for years to come. Most importantly, over the past 4 years, Coach kept the team focused on working with all our heart as for the Lord, running with endurance, preparing our minds for challenges at hand, and having a mind to work. Each year, I found a home in a team that loved each other deeply and knew that while physical training has some value, godliness has value in all things. Thank you for everything, Coach.
Harrison Provines.
Good evening. Tonight I want to honor a very special person. I want y'all to know about the nursing program, and everyone in it is so important. All of the staff members, all of the teachers have left a normal life, all of them from very far states away, to come and serve us at the risk and at the knowledge that they were leaving their comfort of their homes. And as each one of them have come from far away, one of them particularly stood out to me as what it means to be a nurse. Throughout my high school and college career, just my education career, my learning style has just been listen in class and then hope for the best on the test. It usually works out. And it worked out for a long time. And when I got to my first year of nursing school, that was obviously not the case. There was a lot of content that I needed to learn in a very short amount of time, and it wasn't working out for me as well as I had hoped to be. I was passing, but I didn't have the grades that I wanted to have. And so this past year, we've added a faculty member, Miss Melissa Paquette, who has come from Massachusetts, by the way, very far away. And Miss Melissa has helped me understand my learning style, which has been super important to me. And not only that, but she's taught me what it means to be a nurse. Even through my first year of nursing school, I thought I knew what it means to be a nurse. And she has showed me that I did not understand what it meant to be a nurse at all. She spent countless hours with us after a test. My very first test with her did not go well because I was still on that same track. And she sat down with me and she said, "So what do you think went wrong?" And I'd never really thought about it like that. Usually each teacher will say, "So we need to do this." But she really sat there and she listened to me and she said, "Okay, well, I think let's try this." But that wasn't the last conversation that we had. She continued to pursue what it was my learning style was to help me succeed. And especially this last semester, she really helped me, encouraged me to grow and finish out my career in nursing school very strongly. So I'm very happy to present this coin to Miss Melissa Paquette.
Josh Rainwater.
At the end of sophomore year, I had a very strong battle of trying to decide what I should do with myself. I was just acquiring my associate's degree and was trying to figure out what I should do after that. And I was deciding I would do mass media. And I was given my new advisor, and once I had sat down and talked with him, I knew I wanted to do that. And not only did he help me switch with degrees, he helped me achieve success in my internships, and he also invited us over with him and his wife to his apartment and to just hang out and be a place that we can take a break from classes and just chill. From teaching in the classroom to caring about how we were doing, they always looked for opportunities to care, not only for me, but for all of the mass media majors. They constantly check in on how we are doing outside of school all the time, and just yesterday, they are just checking in that we finally finished, and really appreciate that. Thank you so much for Zach and Maria McCrae for being a power couple that always seeks to inspire others.
Abigail Reeves.
I honestly don't remember choosing to be a mass media major.
I was a transfer student 2 years ago, and suddenly I was just in the program. And it was the best decision I never made. Suddenly I was here, and like I said, I was a transfer student, so I was a latecomer to the program. I was young for my class, and I was worried about belonging and figuring it out. But this program, it chose me, and no one at this school has changed my life as much as Zach and Maria McCrae. They have shown me what it is to be a hospitable Christian, a good teacher, and more than anything, a good friend. And I just wanted to say thank you for loving me while I figure it out, which is still going on, probably will be for the rest of my life, and for giving me grace in my education and revival in my faith. You made this school a home for me and for so many people here, and I'm so blessed by you both.
Danielle Romke.
Hello, everyone. So my nominee is someone who has been a positive influence in many different areas as my academic advisor, professor, and a great chapel speaker. But the one thing that stood out to me the most about this person was that they were someone I could go to for life advice. Last year in particular, I was going through a very dark valley, and I reached out to this person for help because I was so upset that, quite frankly, I wanted to quit college. And I want to share with you the words that he said to me that day. He said, "It's normal for you to question why you're even still in school right now because you're hurting. When we hurt, it's natural to shrink away and not want to do anything or be around anyone. But here you have many people you can reach out to for help and whom you can lean on for times like these. You're going into your senior year, and you're going to make deep relationships with people here that will be lifelong. And you're still going to learn so much more your next year. When you graduate, you'll get a diploma that tells people, I did this, I earned this, and it'll stay with you for the rest of your life." He reminded me in that moment why I came to college at FC specifically, and all that I would miss out on if I quit then. When I walked out of his office that day, I saw him as an advisor, professor, a fellow brother in Christ, but also as my friend. If you're in the audience and you're going to be at FC next year, please talk with this professor afterwards and get to know him well. I guarantee it'll be worth it for you as it has been for me. If he had not dedicated his time, advice, and encouragement to me, I may not be about to graduate tomorrow with all the wonderful people on stage with me. So without further ado, I am honored to present my coin to Mr. Todd Chandler.
Shelby Roth.
I'd like to share with you all a short story about the person I'm giving my coin to tonight. When I started my senior year last fall, I remember walking into a class late one morning after I had also turned in a late homework assignment for that same class the day before. It just so happened that the professor, Dr. Gilliam, was talking about how students shouldn't be turning in homework late. It felt like all his words were directed towards me. He then spent the next 15 to 25 minutes of our finance class encouraging us to use the opportunities we are given and be careful not to waste our time. One thing that really stuck with me was when he kept repeating a phrase. This phrase was, "Have the mindset to work ahead." This phrase really stuck with me, and I remember writing it down somewhere last fall. I've looked at it almost every day since then, and it's helped me to be able to achieve goals that I didn't think were possible. The point of the class he taught that semester was for us to learn about finance, but by the end of the semester, I had learned so much more than finance principles. In every class that I have taken with this professor, I have witnessed how he goes above and beyond to teach his students more than just what you find in a textbook. You can see the enthusiasm he has when interacting with the class and his passion to help others learn. He displays a Christ-like attitude and never fails to teach from a biblical standpoint. Getting to know him over the past year has been a huge blessing to me. I am so grateful for all the words of wisdom and encouragement that he has given to me personally. His words of advice have helped me through one of the hardest years of school, but more importantly, they have helped me to grow in ways that will benefit me for the rest of my life. With all that being said, I'd like to give my coin tonight to Dr. Gilliam.
Gabe Sasser.
Many people on this campus have had a huge impact on me since my freshman year, and I am so grateful for that. This person who I'm giving my coin to has showed me what it's like to be a true servant. Last summer, I got the opportunity to do Camp Friends, and my leader always put our group's needs before hers. She would take on roles and jobs in the summer to lighten our load and make our job easier, even when it added stress onto her own. This was not just part of the job description, she did this in her day-to-day life. Since meeting my freshman year, she has let me do laundry for free at her house, given me loads of wisdom, and is always there for me anytime I needed her. If you see her on campus, you will see her talking to others and asking how they are and taking interest in their personal lives and putting a lot of time and effort into her work in the business office as well. These are the kind of attributes that I've looked up to and have gotten to take away with being close to her. She has always been there and given me words of affirmation and believed in me and my abilities even when I didn't believe in myself. She taught me to not be anxious about my future plans and to trust in God. And when I was unconfident in my job and myself, she directed me back to the Lord, showing me that my confidence should come through Him. Everyone needs a friend like her. I'm so grateful to call this person my friend, mentor, and my summer mom, Michaela Kegley.
Abigail Shabarasi.
I've known this professor for a long time, but I'm honored to have known him in an academic sense this past year. He has been a great role model and has made a significant impact on my life during my time at Florida College. He's helped me when I felt that I had no options, has lended a listening ear, and his open door policy was a constant comfort. Thank you to Dr. Brian Gilliam for being an encouragement and mentor in my life, and I couldn't have done FC without you.
Brogan Secreto.
God brings certain people into our lives that He knows we need, and one of those people is Mrs. Orff. Not only was she placed in my life as a professor, but also as an example of one who loves the Lord and all others around her. In the middle of my junior year, I was having a hard time. I talked to Mrs. Orff frequently, and she was always there to give an encouraging word and a listening ear. One night, she knew that I was going through a lot and invited me to crash her and Brian's dinner date. With puffy eyes and an empty stomach, I ate a home-cooked meal and watched Little House on the Prairie. Although I felt uneasy and vulnerable, they made me feel comfortable at my lowest point. They were not even married, and yet I have never felt more generosity and hospitality than in that moment. It was so much more than a dinner and a show. In addition to her kind heart, Mrs. Orff also has quite the sense of humor. For example, one time right before class, another student and I walked by the classroom to see one of our life-sized, realistic mannequins up in a chair all by itself. Its eyes were glowing green in the dark room, and after we overcame the shock of what we saw, we wondered how it got there. Not only did Mrs. Orff make sure the eyes were glowing, but she managed to drag the 110-pound mannequin an incredible distance, considering the fact that they are supposed to be lifted by multiple people. After that, you better believe I was checking to make sure all the mannequins were accounted for before entering a dark room. One of the things that I admire about Mrs. Orff is her unwavering strength. She taught me that even in the face of the toughest trials, the love of God and of those around you can carry you through the most difficult tests. And I'm not just talking about her physical assessment tests. She taught me that life is so much more than the challenges you face, but is defined by devotion to the Lord and surrounding yourself with those who love you. I would like to give my coin to Mrs. Abby Orff.
Tyler Sexton.
The recipients of my coin tonight have played a special and very critical role in my success the past 4 years at Florida College. Time and time again, I've received instruction, guidance, lots of teasing and scolding, but most definitely wisdom, knowing that's all been out of love. I've always been able to lean on these two for support whenever I've been in a pinch, to have my back, and to let me vent about the frustrations of life. Thank you for always standing in my corner when I felt like I was alone. Thank you for teaching me to think about the decisions I make, how they will affect my future, and how I can be successful in life, all while being self-aware of what I'm capable of. You've both graced me a family 1,000 miles away from home, and I know that wherever I end up in the future, I'll always have a family in Temple Terrace. Tonight, I'm awarding my coin to John and Jenny Bassett.
Colin Sink.
Benjamin Franklin famously wrote that in this world, nothing can be said to be certain except death and taxes. As a student secretary, I would add to this list the unending, unavoidable, and inevitable fate of spending your afternoon bubbling in test keys. Regardless of the successes or failures of life, no matter how I managed my time, how I performed in my classes, or how I used my day, I knew the date would arrive with inescapable regularity for me to make the next test keys for the next anatomy exam. In 4 semesters of secretarial labor, I calculate that I have bubbled in over 4,000 bubbles on Scantrons. Grading work for an anatomy class is at the very least consistent. I think consistent is the best way to describe the recipient of my coin. It is hard for me to come up with a specific memory that really encapsulates the impact he has had on me during my time at FC. Rather, it has been the constant friendship, guidance, and genuine interest that he has shown that comes first to my mind. This person has always had a welcome smile and a willingness to talk with you about anything. He shows that he sincerely cares about who you are as a person, not just his student. No matter what you may be struggling with or how bad your day is going, he always readily listens and offers sound, compassionate, and godly advice. To me, he has not just been a teacher, but a mentor, role model, and friend. He has guided me through relationship struggles, listened with humor as I griped about my classes, and taught me the value of mastery and dedication in learning. In a foundational way, he has shaped my experience here and the person I am as a result.
As I move on, the memories of the hours I spent in his classroom and even at his desk bubbling in test keys will be treasured ones. Thank you for the constant you have been for me. I am honored to present my coin to Mr. Todd Chandler.
Clayton Slammons.
Hey, Mom. I love her. She just landed recently, so it's cool. She drove real quick over here. I wanted to say that real fast. But to another person I love who is an inspiring professional, someone who cares really deeply about the people in her life, and loves passionately, I want to give my coin to Roxanne Wilson.
Zach Smelser.
I'm honored to present my coin tonight to Roxanne Wilson. I never would have thought that I'd be giving my coin to someone that FaceTimed me to come to class at the very end of the semester when I had saved my unexcused absences, and then when I got to class, there was no one there. Roxanne told all her students to leave the classroom and see how long it took for Zach to notice. And after sitting awkwardly on the table in the front row of class, I realized there was a phone perched up against her desk, just videoing me for 2 minutes, so she still has it on her phone. In all seriousness, I have a lot of respect for Roxanne and the balance that she shows in her life. She's an amazing professor to me and always made the classroom fun, and yet also handles a lot of responsibilities at FC, handling the marketing team. That's something I aspire to show in my life through hard work and balance. I'm thankful that you're my sister in Christ, you're my professor and my friend, and specifically at Henderson Boulevard, that you get to continue to be an example for me. So thank you for everything. I really appreciate it.
Kennedy Smith.
I gotta admit, it's been a pretty rough year. There's been so many changes that I've never saw coming, so I've been trying to keep it steady for these last 2 semesters. But every time I got time to spend with this teacher, she kept it constant. She always made my week better. It's always encouraging to be near her kind, patient, loving, and godly spirit. Even when I felt like I failed her at times, she always reassured me that that's not the case. She always helped me develop skills I've put on the back burner for years, and has been there every step of the way during my time at FC. I couldn't see myself enjoying my last year without her being here. I'm proud and honored to give my coin to Miss Jenny Bassett.
Jenna Smith.
One of the most unique and valuable features of Florida College is its impressive student-teacher ratio of 11-to-1. As you can see by the ceremony, this is clearly a very profound aspect of the school. When I made the decision to transfer, I was eager to attend a school that prioritized these relationships. Little did I know that my connection with Dr. Chris Bell would have had such a profound impact on me during the hardest time of my life. Last year, my world came crumbling down when I lost my dad. During a time of such pain and confusion, Dr. Crispell was a constant. He offered comfort and support all the time, even turning our weekly SI meetings into just 30-minute therapy sessions. But what stood out to me most was that he and Mrs. Jean were there at my dad's memorial service. This is just something that truly demonstrates the depth of his empathy and Christ-like compassion. So coming back to school after this was not easy, but Dr. Crispell never failed to reach out, check in, or give just a pat on the back in between classes. He has the remarkable ability to recognize when students are struggling, even when they are not fully aware of it. For many, Dr. Crispell is not only an outstanding educator, but also a caring and compassionate individual who goes above and beyond his duties to support his students. I'm beyond blessed to know him and to love him, and that is why I'm honored to give my coin to Dr. Crispell.
Chloe Sneed.
There are so many people who have had an amazing impact on me during my time at FC, but this person has a special place in my heart because I have confidence that they have eternal significance in my life. I first met this person my freshman year, and to be honest, I was very, very intimidated by her. But after a crazy semester of COVID and online learning and a very well-timed card of encouragement, I began sophomore year way less scared of her. I began making weekly visits to her office to chat, catch up, and let her solve all of the life problems that I had as a sophomore in college. That summer, she officially became Cool Mom as she chaperoned our friend's tour. On the road, she was always my biggest cheerleader, my shoulder to cry on, and my voice of reason all in one. I learned so much from watching her lead that summer and every day since. She is a very busy and very important person, but she would never tell you that. Even so, she always makes time for people. She puts her life on hold to take care of others around her, and the way that she loves and serves is truly inspiring. She showed me what it means to truly listen. When she talks to you, you know that she truly wants to hear every word that you have to say. I have looked up to this woman in so many ways, as a leader, as a friend, as a sister, as a daughter. And I know that so much of that is because she knows who she is. Her character is consistent and strong. A memory that stands out to me is last year, in a little bit of a sticky situation. I remember talking to a group of my friends and saying, Virginia said she's handling it, and I'm going to trust her because she's never given me reason not to. And that's who Virginia is. Virginia, I truly believe that I am better for knowing you, and I truly believe that God has smiled on my life by giving me you as a mentor and as an example of what a godly woman is and should be. You are a blessing and a light in my life, and so it is with all the love in my heart that I am so happy to dedicate this legacy coin to you.
Anna Stringer.
Albert Einstein once said, "Everyone is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will spend its whole life believing that it's stupid." I used to strongly relate to this quote. School has never really been my thing. Although I am fluent in dad puns and Disney quotes, academically, it's really just not my language. I would always pass classes and even sometimes make a good grade, but growing up, I genuinely wondered how people could enjoy school. There was a part of me that thought that I was a dumb fish trying to climb a tree. There was never a question of where I was going to get my education. My first words were Peckham, and all my goals were set with the intentions of arriving here. But I was a people person and not a paper person. All of this was changed when Zach McCray introduced me to the mass media program. I'm giving my coin to Zach and Maria McCray because they gave me the last piece to complete my Florida College puzzle. Zach, you have shown me that school and enjoyment belong in the same sentence. You bring effort, intentionality, and life into everything that you do. You lit a fire in me to create and appreciate the world of cinema. And you have shown me how to live out Colossians 3:23, which says, whatever you do, do it with your whole being. Thank you for equipping me with the skills to be a creator of my own and to do what I love. Maria, you have shown me the power of hospitality. As Zach adopted us kids into the mass media program, whether you wanted it or not, you became a mom. Your life is an open door policy, and you turned the mass media students into a family. You have forever changed my life, from being a people person to being also a paper person. Thank you for the endless display of hospitality, kindness, and snickerdoodle cookies. My FC experience has been everything that I wanted it to be. Lifelong friendships, spiritual growth, and the best memories of my life thus far. After 4 years, I can truly say that the McCrays have helped me add to that a real joy and passion for learning. Zach and Maria, I'm giving you both my coin because you have given this dumb fish an ocean to swim in. I love you guys.
Anna Taylor.
The recipient of my coin is someone who has single-handedly impacted my time at FC in all aspects of my life like no other. Throughout my journey as a nursing student, I've been blessed by many professors and their wisdom, but none quite like hers. From the day I met her, she's been nothing but a blessing in my life. There were many days filled with tears and stress, and each time she welcomed me into her office and even her home with open arms. On the days where there was good news and accomplishments, she was the first one to hug me and tell me how proud she was. Her wisdom is something I will hold on to throughout the rest of my career as a nurse and throughout the rest of my life. I can only hope to have the impact on others that she's had on me. I'll be forever grateful for the patience, love, and countless hours she's dedicated to me and the other nursing students these past few years. Although this coin is just a material thing, it represents the immense honor and respect I have for her as a professor, advisor, mentor, and role model. I'm blessed to be one of many students who have been changed for the better because of her impact, and I hope to continue to make her proud as I continue on my journey. For these reasons, I'm giving my coin to Dr. Hulk.
Andrew Thetford.
The person that I chose tonight means a lot to me. This person truly represents the heart of this school, which is the professors that truly care about their students. The thing that makes this person truly special is the way that she cares, the way that they care. I remember freshman year is my very first day of class. I go in and syllabus day, and this person puts the slides up, and she has her number on the board, and she says, I don't care like what our relationship is. If you find yourself pulled over on the side of the road, broken down at 2 a.m. in the morning, you can call this number, and I'll be there. And this person truly meant what she said. And so this person cares. She cares not just in the big ways like I just mentioned, but in any way that she can, really. She cares in the way that when her students have a complaint, it keeps her up at night thinking about how she can improve her class for her students. She cares in the way that she opens her home every single finals week for students to have food or to help them out with classes. She cares in the way that she breaks into tears in the middle of a lecture because she cares so much about her students and her message. She cares in the way that she has pushed me, not just academically, but also emotionally and spiritually. She cares in the way that when you come into her office stressed out of your mind, she will comfort you and she will tell you that school is not the most important thing in life, and she will do anything she can to help you. I've had this teacher every single year that I've been here. This semester I'm in my 6th class with her, actually my 5th and 6th class with her, and she has somehow put up with me for all these classes. That's how you know how much she cares. So the person that I'm honoring tonight has had a lasting impact on my college experience and the person that I am today. To the woman who taught me how to give a speech, Mrs. Trigg, I simply cannot thank you enough for the way that you care.
Lauren Van Fleet.
Tonight, I am giving my coin to someone who has been unfailingly generous, patient, and kind during my time in the education program. This person has given so much time to mentor us and offer wisdom professionally, academically, and spiritually. He has truly been a champion for his students, and I wouldn't be the educator that I am without him. I am endlessly thankful for his influence on my life for the last 3 years. So tonight, I'm giving my coin to Mr. Barler.
Adeline Vaughn.
Although I have been cared for, blessed, and loved by dozens of faculty and staff at Florida College, I've always known who my coin recipient would be today. I've had a wonderful education at FC, but this person has taught me more about life than all the tests, papers, quizzes, or lectures ever did. I've spent a huge chunk of my waking hours in Dr. Bassett's office these past 4 years as his secretary, student, only strings major, violin pupil, and everything else. Together, we've planned chorus tours and musicals, engaged in philosophical conversations, complained about being tired a lot, and played together in string ensemble. Through it all, I have watched his morals, work ethic, and character prove their nobility to me by his behaviors and words. I have never seen him act hypocritically. He is willing both to generously help anyone who asks and also to ask others for help himself. He has always treated me like an equal, even though he is clearly my better in smarts, talent, common sense, doctorates, life years, and most of all, sassy comments. He has always held me to a high standard of excellence, maturity, and wisdom, and because of that, I have had the opportunity to grow in order to fit that expectation. I believe that this has been the most valuable asset I have gained in my years at Florida College. It is with great respect that I present my coin to my friend, Dr. John Bassett.
Daniel Vela.
Good evening. Before I came to Florida College, I already knew that I wanted to be a music major. Music has been a part of my life since I was a little kid, and I have been involved in many activities that were related to music since I was in middle school and high school. When I got here, I got to meet a very special person, one of the best professors I have ever known, and his name is Dr. John Bassett. Dr. Bassett was my professor over the last 5 years, and he taught me how to develop my qualities and how to be a better singer. However, he also taught me that great lessons, and it is that great lessons that I will always remember in my life. He taught me that greatness and success come with hard work and effort. If you want to be a good singer, but you do not practice enough, you will never be one. Some people are born with talent, some people need to work hard to get it. In my case, I was a mix of both of these. I knew that I was talented, but Dr. Bassett saw in me things that I never saw, and he pushed me to be better and to develop myself in a great way. He always said to me things very respectfully, but directly. And that's why I love his teaching style. Sometimes you need someone to tell you the truth in your face and show you reality. For some people, this could be hard, and I understand it. However, he always did that with me, and I'm thankful for having a person who said things to me in this way, because it motivated me to realize that I could be better and that I could achieve my goals if I really wanted to. For this reason today, I want to give this coin to him for the great impact that you had on me and in my life, and the lessons that you taught me. This coin is for you, Dr. Bassett.
Kara Werner.
Not long ago, when I first came to Florida College, I was young and naive. I am still both of those things, just a little less so. Older because of the passing of time, and a little wiser because of a special person who has poured their own wisdom into me throughout my time here. Our relationship extended beyond the once-a-week Bible studies that she hosted, all because she reached out and wanted to get to know me. Over the past few years, she has sat with me as I cried many tears of sadness, confusion, and fear to her. And she has shared in those tears with me. But she has also rejoiced with me and cheered me on in the high moments, praising God for every good thing that I shared. She never left a conversation with me without emphasizing the importance of bringing my burdens to God in prayer and leaving them at His feet. She has fought my battles with me through prayer because she believes in the power of the cross and reminds me of that power daily. Her love for the Lord is so evident in the way that she loved and cared for me so well during my time here. There are no words that I have that can express how much she means to me and how much love I have for her. My time at FC would not be the same without her. It is because of her influence on me that I feel more equipped to fight the good fight and to love the Lord with all my heart, soul, and strength. Tonight, I am giving my coin to Miss Jean Crispell.
Jordana Golpe.
When I think of my honoree, 3 words come to mind. Now, I'm not a preacher, but I've got 3 points, and the coin is yours. But the first word that comes to mind is dedicated. You can see this person's car parked here until midnight, and then right back first thing in the morning. Some nights, I wake up at 2 a.m. because this person is still up putting grades into Canvas with comments in the comment section. The next word that comes to mind is understanding. As an ed major, there are so many times when you look at what you have to do and you start to panic. This person works hard to see things from your perspective and is always quick to make the changes and tell us, you're gonna be fine. This person also did not get mad at me when I spilled an entire cup of coffee on his computer. This is a direct quote from him. He says, "I have never had a class who has needed so many accommodations, but I'm happy to give them to you." The last word is dehydrated. I have never seen this man with water, only coffee and Baja Blast. It's so interesting that I dedicated my long-term investigation to him to see how much coffee he would drink, Baja Blast, water. Water was 0. So tonight, I would like to give my coin and this bottle of water to Mr. Barler.
Savannah Vrooman.
From the first moment that I walked into this woman's classroom, I knew she was going to change my life. Let me tell you, there was balloons in there, there was decorations, and her outfit matched her slides. Since then, this has remained consistent. I'm telling you. I remember the first test that I actually took for her, she was passing out these cookies. She's an amazing baker. She really is. I hope you guys can have her baked goods at some point. I'm gluten-free, unfortunately. And so I know I was going to have to pass. I was like, oh, I'll just give it to someone afterwards. She leaned down, she whispered to me, and she said, I made this one gluten-free. I was shocked and a little scared because I did not know how she knew that. And ever since then, she's made me baked goods at least 3 times a month. I bring them home, I use them for a long time. But there are much more reasons why she's impacted my life and changed it for the better. This year, she was my supervising professor, and she'd sit down with me and she would pray over every single one of my students. And that is a practice that I'm going to take for the rest of my life, and pray over every single student that I have. And I thank you for teaching me how to do that. And she loves me. And she prays for every single one of us in the same way. And I know that I can go out and change the lives of so many kids because of her. So, if you haven't guessed it, the person that I am going to give my coin to is Bonnie Cable.
Natalie Wilson.
Over the past 4 years, my friendship with Dr. Longstreth has changed me. Both he and the outcome of his efforts here at the school and at Forest Hills Church of Christ have been a great blessing to me. Last year, a friend asked me who my role model was, and his name came to my mind immediately. Dr. Longstreth, you have demonstrated to me how to be both passionate and practical in my faith, and I'm so grateful that I've had the opportunity to worship with you and learn from you. You've always listened to me, even when I rambled about a half dozen tangents and forgot what my point was, and you made me feel like my presence and thoughts were valuable and worth your time, even though I know you had 100 other things you could have been doing. You've been like a father to me while I was away from home, and your family has become a family to me here. I respect you so much, and I'm honored to call you my brother. Thank you for always being trustworthy and reliable and patient with me. I've benefited so much from the wisdom that God has granted to you, and I'm so grateful that you're willing to share it with me. You've reassured me in times of doubt, you've borne with me in my weaknesses, you admonish me whenever I need it, and you always remind me of the truth when I lose sight of it. You've taught me how to understand the world and people better by knowing God more fully. I thank God for you all the time, and I love you so much.
Audra Witherington.
All the while I've been at FC, I've been wondering who to give this coin to, because there are so many people I am grateful for here. But this year it became increasingly obvious that I want to give it to my mom, Angela Witherington. She is not only a wonderful godly example and a very valuable worker here, but I can't think of anyone who's helped me more in my college career. So after 15 plus years of being involved in my school life and coming to like award ceremonies and graduations, I want to honor you in return. So thank you, Mom.
Maggie Wright.
Last one, yay. Okay. If you want to get close to someone, go through quarantine with them. I became a dorm monitor the year COVID happened, which could only be described in one way: chaos. For weeks, we planned our schedules around when to bring meals to tons of girls locked away, when to go to the store for them, when to pick up their mail, take out their trash, and the list goes on. Through the season of feeling overwhelmed at all times, we grew closer. Every night, we would stay up talking about anything and everything. During this time, I learned how humble she is. She genuinely cares for others and is a servant in everything she does. She has humor like no other and is guaranteed to make you laugh, but will also give you a listening ear and tell the advice you need when you need it. She inspires me in every interaction that we have. At the end of the year, she asked me to be her RA for the following year, which I was already extremely excited to do. However, at the beginning of the summer, she gained a new son that made the job even more exciting. I don't live too far from campus, which meant I had more opportunities to grow closer to this family during the summer and get to know their son a lot better. Their son is wild. He has energy like no other, he's obsessed with girls, and he will eat your fries when you walk in the lobby every single time. During the summer, we would go on walks every week, and he quickly became my best friend after that. I would tell him everything. If you don't know who I'm talking about by now, you should know their son is a dog. He's a good boy, the goodest boy. And someone who taught me what a good boy looks like was his father. His dad talks with all the girls and Jennifer at the beginning of the year about boys being potatoes. Some boys are mashed potatoes, some are french fries, some even waffle fries. But most of them right now are just raw potatoes. This family knows how to sit in sorrow with you, but also rejoice with you. They changed my entire FC experience. As the Hesters moved to Texas for this next stage of their life, not being able to see them every day or make last-minute trips to Chewy's makes me sad. But I find comfort in the fact the relationship I have with them will last the rest of my life, and the impact they've made will never go unnoticed. I feel blessed to have gotten closer to the Hesters during my time at FC, and I'm excited to see more of the work they do for the kingdom. I'm happy to present this coin to Amy, Chuck, and Blue Hester.
thank you for joining us for the 2023 Senior Legacy Coin Ceremony. There will be a reception in the River